AGM Series 7 Post-AGM Compliance and ROC filings. We are discussing about AOC-4, MGT-7, MGT-7A, MGT-14 and dividend compliance in FAQ model. So hello friends, welcome back to our AGM Masterclass Series. In our previous videos, we learn how to convene the AGM, issue of AGM notice. We have discussed on preparation of the explanatory statement and record the minutes. We also discussed on complying with the Secretarial Standard 2. So the company has to file various forms with the ROC because post-AGM compliance. Now we are going to discuss upload voting results wherever applicable and pay a dividend within the prescribed time and update statutory registers and preserve important records. So today we will understand in detail all the post-AGM compliances through practical frequently asked questions. So what are the post-AGM compliance? Friends, the post-AGM compliance means all the statutory actions that the company is required to complete after the conclusion of the annual general meeting. So these compliances ensures that the decisions taken by the shareholders are implemented and the statutory records of the company are updated. So failure to complete these compliances may result in additional fees and penalties and regulatory actions. So therefore the post-AGM compliances are as important as conducting the AGM itself. So which are the important ROC forms after the AGM? So depending upon the nature of the company, and the important ROC forms generally includes AOC-4. AOC-4 is a filing of financial statement, AOC-4 XBRL wherever applicable. So MGT-7 is the annual return, MGT-7A is the annual return for eligible 1% companies and small companies. MGT-14 wherever filing of resolutions are required under section 117 of Company Act 2013. Other forms if any depending upon the resolutions passed in the AGM. So the applicability of each form is depending on the Companies Act and the rules made thereunder. What is form AOC-4? AOC-4 is the statutory form used to file the financial statements with the register of companies. Generally it contains balance sheet, statement of P&L profit and loss, cash flow statement wherever applicable, notes to accounts, board's report, auditor's report, AOC-1 if applicable, CSR disclosures wherever applicable, and other prescribed attachments. So timely filing of AOC-4 is a mandatory. Within what time should AOC-4 be filed? Section 137 of Companies Act 2013, the financial statement should generally be filed within 30 days from the date of the AGM. So within 30 days from the date of the AGM. So if the date of AGM is not held, if the AGM is not held, so the provisions relating to filing of section 137 should still be complied with as applicable. So the company secretary should take care of this due date immediately after the AGM. So what is form MGT-7? This is annual return prescribed under section 92 of the Companies Act 2013. Annual return section 92, AGM section 96. So annual return contains the comprehensive information relating to the registered office, principal business activities, holding company, subsidiary, associate companies details, share capital and directors and KMP, key managerial personnel. KMP means the details of the remuneration and penalties and prosecutions if any during the year, other statutory disclosures. So it provides a complete annual snapshot of the company. What is MGT-7A? MGT-7A is a simplified annual return applicable to eligible 1% companies and small companies. It contains fewer disclosure requirements as compared to MGT-7. So the company secretary should first determine whether the company satisfies the statutory criteria before using MGT-7A. Within what time should MGT-7 or MGT-7A should be filed? Again under section 92, the annual return should be filed within 60 days from the date of the AGM. AOC-4 within 30 days, MGT-7 within 60 days from the AGM. So timely filing important because the delay attracts the additional fees and may expose the company and its officers to statutory consequences. MGT-14 is required for every AGM. It is not required for every AGM. MGT-14 is required for every resolution passed at an AGM. Depends on its filings depends upon the nature of the resolution and the provisions under section 117 and its company's meetings of the board and its powers rules 2014. For example, certain special resolutions are required to be filed in form MGT-7 whereas the many ordinary business resolutions passed at the AGM do not require such filings. So special resolutions requires. Therefore, always examine the applicability of section 117 before filing of MGT-7. Generally, it requires within 30 days. So, if filing is required, then within 30 days, the resolution we need to file MGT-14. So, when should the dividend paid after AGM? So, where the shareholders approve the declaration of the dividend, the company should pay the dividend within 30 days from the date of declaration in accordance with the section 127 of the Companies Act 2013 unless any statutory exception applies. So failure to pay dividend then within the prescribed period may attract consequences under Companies Act. So what statutory record should update after the AGM? So after AGM, the Company Secretary should update register of members wherever required and required register of directors and KMPs if any changes have occurred, and the minutes book, annual return records, statutory registers reflecting the resolutions passed, and dividend records wherever applicable. So proper maintenance of records facilitate future inspections and audits. What document should be prepared after AGM? The company should prepare AGM notice. So for the AGM, the company should not prepare, we have to preserve, because we already discussed the preparation. Now we will discuss on the preservation. Company need to preserve the records post AGM. AGM notice has to be preserved, attendance register has to be preserved, proxy register, authorization of the corporate representatives if any, scrutinizer report has to be preserved, voting records has to be preserved, minutes books has to be preserved, annual return has to be preserved, proof of dispatch of the AGM notice is the most important. So these documents may be required during the secretarial audit, ROC inspection, SEBI inspection, or any legal proceedings. So what are the common post-AGM mistakes generally? We observe delay in filing of AOC-4, MGT-7, or incorrect attachments, mismatch between the financial statements and the board's report. Sometimes it happens, wrong SRN references, failure to preserve scrutinizer report, delay in payment of a dividend, incorrect certification of e-forms. So these errors can easily be avoided by maintaining the compliance calendar. What is the role of the company secretary after the AGM? So friends, the responsibility of the company secretary does not end with the AGM. The company secretary should verify the resolutions passed, prepare and finalize the minutes, coordinate with the statutory auditors, prepare ROC forms, ensure proper certification, file the forms within the prescribed timeline as we have informed 30 days, 60 days and 30 days. 30 days for AOC-4 within 60 days for MGT-7, 7A, MGT-14 within 30 days, and preserve the statutory records, report compliance to the board. So a professional company secretary ensures that every post-AGM compliance is completed accurately and within timelines. So I'll give you a practical checklist like obtain a scrutinizer report first, declare the voting results, then prepare the minutes and file the AOC-4 within the statutory time, and MGT-7, MGT-7A within the statutory time you file with MCA, and examine whether MGT-14 is applicable or other ADT-1 or any other forms applicable. Take care of that. Pay dividend within the prescribed time period within 30 days. Update statutory registers, preserve all the records perfectly. Yes, friends, today we have discussed the complete post-AGM compliance process under the Companies Act 2013. So we learned about AOC-4, MGT-7, MGT-7A and MGT-14 dividend compliances, update statutory registers, preservation of records, and the responsibilities of the company secretary. Remember, a successful conducted AGM is complete only when all the statutory filings and post-meeting compliances are completed within the timelines. So in the next video, though, I will discuss completely on secretarial audit observations, common AGM mistakes, practical case studies, and ROC notices, penalties, adjudication matters, and complete AGM compliance checklist for the practicing professionals. We will meet in next video. Thank you.